God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that is going to reap. So it's not just about, oh, you pay school fees or you pay house rent. The way you live, your values, the way you comport yourself, all these things are very, very important because your children are catching it. Values are more caught than taught. I say that again. Values are more caught than taught. We teach values, but they are better caught because they see you live it out. Okay? They see you live it out in your timeliness. Okay? In the way you respond to people, in the way you handle stress. All these things are important. Okay? Now, it's also important that you empower your children for success. It's important that you empower your children for success. Okay? Always present united fronts to your children, husband and wife. Okay, my husband and I have different personality and different character traits. But one thing we do is this: even when we disagree about a situation, we go into the room, lock the door, argue about it, and then come up with this is our position. You understand what I'm saying? Once the children know that you're divided, they will say, oh, if you want this, go to daddy. If you want that, go to mommy. And I know that a house that is divided against itself will not stand. So it is important for you to always present a united front for your children. Then always honor each other in front of your children and always make your children honor your spouse. Don't ever run down your spouse to your children because you want to gain their support. Okay? No, you're dividing your unity and it's not going to work. Okay? A house that is divided against itself will not stand. So always honor and exalt your spouse before your children. Then number 3, never allow a significant difference to develop in how you express love and enforce discipline. Okay, I don't care how different you are in your personality. Okay, you must maintain. If somebody is beating, both of you are beating together. If someone is loving, both of you are loving together. It's very important. Don't let them catch a gap. Children are very tricky and they're very funny. Don't let them be able to see that, oh, I can get away with this with daddy. Okay? If your child comes to you and says, daddy, can I have this? Say, have you asked your mom? Especially when it comes to things in the home. They know that the wife, the mother, is the manager of the home. So they go to the daddy, who doesn't have record of what is in stock. Don't ever make the mistake of saying, go and take it. Say, go and ask your mom. It doesn't make you a weak man. It makes you a wise man. Because you are submitting yourself to the manager of the home. And then number 4, go outside of your marriage for counseling if it gets out of hand. Don't ever think that it is a demeaning thing to go for counseling. And when you go for counseling, submit yourself to the counselor. It's not about the counselor, it's about your marriage and it's about your life. Before I begin to take the questions, I want to say one last thing. Parenting takes faith. Okay? Training means living in front. Talking is teaching, not training. Okay? Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child. Stay in front of your child. Leave before them what you want them to be. And then we take the questions. I'll go to the strategies if I have more time.
I'm going to bring on one of my brothers. Both my brothers are here. My brothers in whom I'm well pleased. I don't know if you heard my meeting, you guys, but the line broke for a second. But Ola J. Idris and some J. that are very glad to have you joining us remotely. So, Tom, are you ready for us? Yes, so Tom is ready and he is going to anchor this session and talk us through parenting with his parents.
Yes, I can. How do you react to your children's failure? Good question. Children will definitely fail at different times. Let's look at toddling, for instance. When a child is trying to walk, it will fall and then it will rise again. So one thing to know is this. The mere fact that a child fails a test, fails an exercise, fails in a sport, does not mean the child is a failure. Failing at one event is just an incident. It does not define who you are. And managing your children's failure is a good opportunity to coach them about the realities of life. You need to let your children know that they will not always have everything that they want. And that when they fail in one thing, it does not mean that they are failures. There's something I always say when in my money class, I talk about people say they're afraid. I say fear is fail early and responsibly. Teach your children to learn from failure. Teach them to understand that when you fall down, you look back and see what tripped you. And then you forge ahead. Don't let them sabotage their goal for an event in their life. Let them always keep their vision ahead of them. You know, my son told me something that's very good. That's my OJ the Juice man. He said, Mom, did you remember when I did not do well in year 10? I said, I couldn't remember. He said, you know, I didn't learn because immediately I didn't do well. You got lesson teachers, you got coaches, you got everyone to help me with my classes, and I bounced back. And I was still able to make all A's. He said, but until when I had a problem in the university, that was when I understood what I needed to do to be able to bounce back and to be able to make it. I said I needed to now reorder my priorities and do this and do that. I said, then I learned the lesson. There is always a lesson in failure. Let your child know that. I remember also, my father was a very tough man. You know, my brother one day went out with his car, with my mom's car, and had an accident with it. We were all so terrified that my dad was going to kill someone that day. And we were surprised. You know, dad said, you know what? There is no driver that can say he hasn't made a mistake. He said, that means you just became a good one if you're able to drive again tomorrow. So failing is something, is a life lesson that you should take up with your child, even if it has cost you. Let's pray it doesn't cost you life. Even if it has cost you, make sure you ride on it for as a stepping stone, as a learning curve for your child. Thank you. The next question. So can you say that again? I didn't hear that, please. I'm worried about my child picking up bad habits from other children. Ah, you see, you cannot put your child in a cocoon. When the butterfly is going to be made, it goes from egg, larva, pupa, then to the adult butterfly. When the pupa is in the cocoon, it's alone. Okay, so what you do in the cocoon stage is to teach your values to your child. You have to sell your values in a way that your child can buy it. Sell the values and let your child buy it. Like, you know, this is what we stand for. Okay, what do we stand for? Here in the Johnson family, okay, you say, okay, we learn to do things the right way. Okay, if they say, oh, there's no neutral belongation. That's what some people say. You're that belonging or you belong. I say there is right and there is wrong. There is always what is right or wrong. When people come with a gray area, that means they are being evasive. Teach your child that. Let him go with that value. Then teach your child to obey authority. Even when your child is in school, if the law of the school says don't do this, okay, teach the person the value of obedience to authority. Teach your child to be the best wherever they are, okay. Once you do that, don't be afraid to send them out. They will come back and tell you what is happening outside because you have imbibed in them the right values. If you are doing it right yourself, if you're not just teaching them, if you're living it, okay? So don't be afraid. But if you are not living it, if you are two-faced yourself, then it will be difficult for you. You will be scared to let your children go out. They will come up with wrong values. I mean, I have children from all over the world and they are living the values of the Johnson. There must be the values of the DNA of your home. It is important, okay? So that even when they want to veer off, they will remember, I have not so learned Christ, or I have not been taught like this where I came from. Then they will shrink back. It is natural for a child to want to veer off or to be wayward, but the values you have put into them, that you have demonstrated, and the quality of your life will keep bringing them back on track. So don't be afraid that your children are going to join the wrong group, okay? Um, they will do right. My family, my family is what? Say it again. Okay. Oh my goodness. I know I know a lot of parents, a lot of Nigerians that have relocated abroad, they think that, okay, they want to send their children to Nigeria so that they can, the culture is different. Culture is different. And I think sometimes these parents are trying to impose our style in Nigeria to function in a different cultural environment. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because you send the child to Nigeria for 2 or 3 years, okay? Why are Nigerian parents hard and harsh? Because the economy here is tight, because there's no social security, because we don't even have opportunity for or credit. We have bank loaning us money at 30%. There's a lot of pressure. And then we don't send our child out at 18 to go and fend for themselves. You're still the one paying all those bills. So we're a bit harder because we're the ones paying the piper, and so we dictate the tune. So if you are doing the same thing abroad where you are, you tell your child, I'm the one paying the rent here. And so you got to listen to me. And they will listen. Do you understand? You are not going to go contrary, to what the law expects you to do, but you're going to set clear boundaries for them. Okay? You need to let them know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable behavior. Okay, so sending them is fire brigade approach. So maybe you need to go back and retrace your step and sit down with them and come to the level of, come, let us reason together. And then you can now negotiate with them as the best approach to be able to make them to be, sell to them their future. Let them see the picture. I went for a speaking engagement one day and I said, how many people would like to be armed robbers? Nobody raised their hand. How many people would like to be beggars? Nobody raised their hand. How many people would like to be layabouts? I say, okay, how many people escape from coming to class? I say, yes. How many people jump fence? They raise their hand and said, if you do these things, then you will end up like this. Sometimes they need to be shown that video and then they would adjust their ways. Oh, I know the time is gone. I can take one more question and then we can round off this. Okay? Hmm. Yeah, that is going to be difficult for you to have. You have to be united in your parenting style. Okay, that doesn't mean your character, personality is the same. Okay, so what you do is sit in the room, have a sovereign national conference with your spouse, and say, when it comes to discipline, let's do it this way. You take it step 1 to 4, and I take it 5 to 6, and we will both accept that is the final. Even if I disagree with you, we will not disagree before the children. Because if you do so, the children will have the opportunity to seize the moment and then they will be able to divide you. Like I said, a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. Okay. Another question someone said is, my wife puts the children above me in everything. How do I let her know this hurts? Men, I want to say this to you. Household chores is a lot of work. If you make it the exclusive responsibility of your wife, you're going to make your wife to nag you and to find solace and succor in the children. Don't do that. Okay? Especially in homes where both the husband and the wife are both working in the marketplace. Okay? When you both go out to work, you need to give a lot of allowance for your wife, okay, to recoup. And even when she doesn't work and she works from the home, I need you to understand that household work is a full-time assignment. So if you don't want your wife in particular, because women are always guilty of this, to divert all their love and attention to your children, you need to be involved in how she raises them when you're not there. Make sure you celebrate the input she has. Make sure you push her up and value her input in whatever she's doing. And then she would not put the children above you. And she will see that both of you own and love the children together, and then you can raise them together. My timekeepers are saying to me, time is up, time is up. I know, I know.
Yes, we are. We are saying time is up, time is up. Time flies when you're having too much of a good time. Tom J, thank you very much for helping us with that session. Just want to say a quick thank you to all the panelists. You have been amazing. Thank you, Pastor Lily, for gracing us with your beautiful presence. Thank you, Pastor Martin, for the quick show up. We love you all. Mr. Aya Phillips, Araba Singer, thank you so much, everyone. Now, if you've been on this seminar, you know it's amazing. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you. I want you to do a few things before we run off today. I want you to follow at Funmi Johnson 1, that's the numeric 1, across all social media platforms so you can keep up to date with all the things that we have planned for you. I want you to go to Funmi Johnson 1 YouTube, like, subscribe, share, and sign up to receive notifications. Now, I also want you, if you have any questions and you want to be in the one-on-one sessions, email ask me at funmijohnson.com. If you've already made the decision, the Flutterwave payment link is here. It's been sent. It will be sent again. You can pay for your session, send us proof of payment, and we'll set that up for you ASAP. So, without further ado, I just want to say to the woman of the hour, I love you so much. You have been even more amazing than I knew that you were.
Okay, somebody is asking how we can make monetary contribution. Okay, the Flutter Wave actually goes directly to my account, and you can pay from anywhere in the world. Okay, in any currency, it converts it instantly to Naira. The Flutter Wave, they're going to send the link right now. Can you please send the link? Okay. Yes, and it can be. I didn't even know that. I only discovered that yesterday. That is what COVID-19 can do. Now, let me say this as a final word. I want you to know something. God works all things together for your good. Now, this thing that we're going through is not convenient. We can't hug. We're wearing masks, and we can't gather together. Okay? It's not acceptable. It is a temporary setback, but we're taking advantage of this. And in your life too, I want you to. I spoke to a young man, that makes, our fabrics and makes the person that clothes my husband. And I said, how are you coping? For the past someone making money on a daily basis. For two months, they've not been able to make any money. I said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to divest. I said, that's a good thing. He said, I found out my wife, and by the way, his wife made this lovely cakes. And my wife makes cakes. And every day during the lockdown, she was having orders. She was having orders because people that couldn't go out were ordering for cakes to be able to celebrate their weddings, because wedding anniversaries, birthdays, and all those things will keep going on. So he said, I want to start a bakery. I want to start making something that people are doing. I go back to that, my scripture, invest in 7 things. Don't just stay on one lane. You are a salary earner. Come and ask me, what can you put your money into? So that when things come up like this, you can have your money working for you. Don't just stand on one lane. And I would also advise you, don't invest, if possible, in the same industry that you're in. So that if this industry gets into trouble, you're making money from another industry. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's so, so important. They keep telling me, don't tell them all. That's what I love to do, telling them all. So if you pay to the Flutterwave, we will get the alert right away, and that is going to come right to my account. And by the way, I am not soliciting beggarly. I am being rewarded for what I am good at. So if you want counseling, talk to me. I will counsel you. But this time around, you got to pay. I think, and I hope you have enjoyed this. Remember, follow Funmi Johnson 1 on YouTube. I'm sure I should be able to get up to 100 subscribers today, at the very least. And then if you press the bell, I will be able to also let you know when I bring on new things. I want to be doing this every week, life coaching, short, but I would always invite you, don't just take it for free. Do something to make it work for you. I want to especially say thank you to my daughter, the moderator. I want to say thank you to Ayomide Philip. Thank you to Oladipupo Johnson and Thomas Johnson. Thank you. And then to my great mentors, Dr. Martin and Lillian Williams, all the way from Omaha, Nebraska. I want to say thank you. You don't know what this means to me. You know what? They registered for the session. I can't believe that. What humility. I'm so glad. I am so happy. I'm so excited. And then to the man that makes my heart Paulina, you would not see him on this set. He was running from one laptop to one phone to one headset, to one light and making all this possible. I want to say thank you. And then to all the members of the capstone who have made, I've had a Zoom party this morning. I want to say thank you to you all. Thank you. Thank you. And to all the people that support Whitefield Foundation, thank you so much. You have made this the best birthday I've ever had. And if this is my best at this young age of mine, I can imagine what the future is going to be. And to my crew member, Tayo, the IT doctor, oh my goodness, you have been so wonderful. And Sheung, Sheung, I don't know what to say about you. Thank you for the sleepless nights. Thank you for all the montages. Thank you for all you're doing. And for all the gifts, the balloons, the cakes, the cards. Thank you all, and God bless you. Remember the Flutterwave, you can pay directly from anywhere in the world, and we get it right into Funmi Johnson's account. I think it's a good thing to have your account swelling on your birthday. What do you think? Thank you. I love you.